Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. First and foremost, just want to say a big thank you to any friends of the channel, anybody who's liked, subscribed and commented on previous videos. It's greatly appreciated as always. If you're a newcomer to the channel, hope you enjoyed the video, and please check back through some of the older videos, see what we've done, and if you'd be kind enough to press that subscribe button, would be very much appreciative of that. But yeah, this is just a bit of an update on the 70 Plymouth build, the U.S.A.C.C Plymouth build. We finished it sort of Friday afternoon, late Friday afternoon, and got the video up for Friday evenings. We're already a couple of days late, but there was a few things Friday night, Saturday. We're on Sunday morning, getting up to Sunday dinner time now, and there was just a few things over the last couple of days or day or so, which has just niggled me a little bit too much. I mean, first and foremost, I don't know how nobody mentioned it, but when I was looking at the model on Friday night after I got back home, it was late Friday night. I picked up the model and I realised I'd not even glued in the drive shaft. That was the part which the cat's got. When I was originally stripped it and chucked it about the house, and I found it a couple of days later, and it just sat away from the bench. Completely forgot about it. We just wanted to get it finished, and I missed the drive shaft, so we got that all painted up now and put in the car. So now at least it is finished, as in regards to parts. The second thing which really bothered me over the weekend was the stance. I had set the height previously, but I didn't have a full built up interior to use to sort of mock up everything together. Everything was still apart, and when we were putting it together, the front end just sat far too low. The rear end wouldn't go down as far as I wanted with the interior in place, and the tyres were already up against the wheel arches the way we tucked them in. But yeah, I was going to leave it, but knowing that I'd have to bring it back to the bench for that drive shaft anyway, I toyed around with the idea of leaving it, and then I just decided to bite the bullet. The wheels and tyres were all press fit on anyway, so we could just pop them off, and then I just broke off the wheel bats from where I glued them to the front axle, reset them a little bit higher, or level at least. It does sit a little bit higher than the real car, I think, but I think looking at the pictures, the top of the rims were pretty much just under the wheel arch lip, but I'd rather have it sitting like that, and I'm really happy with actually the way it looks now and the way it sits on the bench. It's nice and level. It doesn't have that sort of street rod stance to it. But yeah, I think the chassis was a little bit warped as well. We had to brace that in with a bit of black plastic there, because even though the axles were level, this was sitting far too high, and it is all a bit janky all over. So yeah, I mean, I'm really happy with that height now. I think that looks a million times better, and I'm glad I've done that now, because that would just have annoyed me every single time I looked at the models. The other thing, little bits and pieces. I just noticed this rear panel it didn't have I mean, they always seem to have a gap, these, and but it wasn't uniform for the full length. So ended up taking off the rear bumper and getting a little tiny sanding stick behind one of these panels, and I broke it off a little bit just so it's flexing in, and then I managed to get this side out a little bit more, so we're all level now. While we're on the rear end, the lights which I used, them Pontiac Viro lights, I'd reversed them so there was more detail on the shown from the outside, and it just didn't look right. It didn't look right for the car at all. So we just went in there with a I just cut some. I've got some red sheet acetate, and we just cut them to fit them. Just popped them over the existing lenses with a bit of Mod Podge. So I think we've got a much nicer look on the rear end now. Much cleaner, the way they should be. I really don't know what was going through my mind when I thought of reversing them lights the other way. But yeah, I think the other thing we've done is, I don't know if anybody noticed in that last video when I was holding the built model, this hood just kept sliding off, and it was really doing me head in just throughout that video. And that's because when I was doing all the fabrication to the hood, I purposely cut these tabs off here. Yeah, I purposely cut them tabs off just so I could lay the hood flat on the bench, so when I was sanding it wasn't flexing. There was only really that one bar left on the back of there holding the bonnet together, and even though we glued in that filler piece in the middle, you know, you still don't want to risk. It would have just cracked straight away had I tried to sand that on the bench or my knee or something with these in place. And I never intended not to put them in, but there was just so much of a gap between doing the body and then jumping back off on it after that small scale build that I think, and the amount of times I'd cleaned up the bench in between, I think these just ended up in the scrap box, in the dustpan, and then into the bins. We just used the trusty donor again. You know, just cut the pieces off here, transferred them onto the bottom of the hood. I did move them a little bit forward just so it's a tighter fit in that gap, because in the kit place it does still leave a bit of a gap at the back of the hood, and you know, we'd got the front of the hood fitting, but it just kept sliding off anyway. So, but that's all nice and tight now. Yeah, we got that hood fitting pretty nice. So it doesn't rock anymore or anything like that. And you know, when I hold it forward, it's not sliding off, which was like I say, absolutely doing me head in. So, but yeah, I think I was just going to stick this at the end. I've got another video coming out today regarding next bench project and what we might be doing. And you know, I think I'm going to ask you, I'm going to set a few models down and give you a few ideas of what I'm wanting to do with them, but just seeing what you guys fancy doing next. You know, it's whether it be a stock, a custom, or yeah, if you really want to see another conversion, I'll do one. I just don't know if you're just going to get bored of them if that's all I do. So, but yeah, I mean, I thought I would show this again as in a separate video. It's you know, I think it deserved it. A lot of work went into this model. You know, I put a lot of myself into this, and you know, like I say, it was quite an achievement that it turned out as well as I did. You know, like I say, you can go out and buy a resin body, I'm sure, of something. I mean, I don't think you can get a resin body of this, but you know, to say we built that and that's all styrene. You know, I'm hoping I've done it so it won't sink over time. You know, the way I glued it all together, and you know, the fillers I used, I'm really hoping it doesn't sink. But you know, that's just a risk you do when you're building something out of styrene. But yeah, I think now all them little changes, there wasn't many. It's only taken an hour to do everything. Yeah, including painting the underside of the body again and touching up a few bits here and there, you know. But yeah, thought I'd show you that. We can now definitely say this is 100% done, and I am 100% happy with it. I don't need to go back to that model for anything now. I'm happy with the wheels, happy with the stance, happy with all the other little bits and pieces I want 100% happy on. But yeah, I think it's you know, maybe we'll see this at a show one day if I ever make it to one of them. But yeah, chuffed with that, absolutely chuffed with it. So right, well, probably one of the last times you guys might have seen it, or might see it. hopefully not. We'll probably work into other videos here and there if we're doing another conversion, but yeah, I mean, like I say, I've got another video coming out this afternoon. I'll stick a few more images and on back of this one. You know, now we've changed a few things. It does sit a lot different on the bench. So yeah, if you want to stick about, I'll probably take 10 or 15 images of it just to show it in a bit of a better photography wise. But so yeah, thanks again for everybody who's supported me throughout this build and other builds, and yeah, like I say, I greatly appreciate everything, all the support I get. So thanks, and we'll see you in the next video. See you, bye.